It's Eagle Out, and today we're going to talk about Nolan Smith working with Robert Mathis, a Colts legend. Also, we're going to go ahead and talk about our linebacker unit, and is it really the best in the NFL? We're going to talk about that. And lastly, Sirianni earned his respect, but let's get straight into it. All right, man. Again, no quick hits, limited topics, more reactions to a couple interviews, couple things I've seen. But let's start with Nolan Smith, man. Nolan Smith, I believe it's called, I don't know, Edge Rusher University. I'm not sure what they call in theirs. I know the tight ends do it. The old line does it. I'm not sure if quarterbacks or receivers or anything like that. But for sure, tight ends, O-line, and like defensive tackles and edge rushers, they all go to a camp. Couple legends there, guys that are still in the league at a high level, teach the young guys that's coming up on their techniques or what to do in these type of situations. And I seen Nolan Smith working with Robert Mathis. Now, Robert Mathis, he played for the Colts. He had seasons where he had 19 and a half sacks. I believe he's like a 5-time All-Pro, 100 plus sacks on the course of his career. Seasons, again, 19 and a half sacks was his highest. He had 10 sack seasons, 11 sack seasons, I think 13 sack seasons. Like, he was one of those ones. Really, really smart on the field too. So I'm happy Nolan Smith is working with a guy like that. But let me go ahead and play this clip.
Okay. But either way, you got him on your back.
Either way, you got it. So let's go through it again. So here. So when O-lineman try to recover this hand, all he's doing is pushing you towards the surface.
Yeah.
I mean, towards the target, which is the quarterback.
Yep.
So it's chop, rip, chop, spin, ice pick.
Gotcha.
Chop, spin, ice pick.
Okay.
So chop, spin, ice pick. Here we go. Gain ground. Gain ground too. That's always gain. Yes, sir. See when it's spin like a hurricane.
That Robert Mathis right here just talked about. Just see him, just see the agility of Nolan Smith right here. Spin, drop, ice pick, no. There we go, nice. We're working out here at the Sac Summit right now.
I love it. Shout out to Baldy for getting that clip. Also seen the picture floating around. I think if I could find him and put it in this video, it was him, Nolan Smith, my guy Milton Williams, and there was another Eagle, Chris Long. But let's stay on the topic of Nolan Smith just a little more. He also talked about just time to start over. Like, let it go. Whatever happened during the Super Bowl, that was that year. It's a fresh year. And now, as Sirianni been saying, it's time to handle success correctly. But let me play this clip.
I'm excited this year, just to go back out there and be out there with my guys, man. The 22 men that help us, accomplish the goal last year, we just trying to pick up where we left off as far as the connection piece, talking to each other, communicating on and off the field. And ultimately, like you said, having fun.
Yep.
Being that kid in high school again, that you just have fun, you go out there and play, you be free and you let loose. And you really, ultimately, as guys that played in the league, you playing for your family, the name on the back of your jersey for yourself. So that's what we want to pick off and leave off and just keep going, just keep going and keep having fun together.
So how do you follow up a Super Bowl year? Like, what's been the culture, what's been the vibe in the building at practices, following up on the heels of you guys waiting to get your rings?
Yeah, no, I'm not waiting to get no ring. We on to the next page. Like Coach said, we got to flip the page in the book. That's last year. Everybody else has moved on to this year, so we can't be stuck in last year.
I love that. I love Nolan Smith, especially with him taking a role on being like captain. He don't got to see on his jersey. I'm not sure who's going to have to see on their jersey, but we know Nolan Smith is going to be one of the voices in the locker room. So it's good to hear that guy say like, hey, man, last year was last year. Going into this new year, it's a fresh start, new team. And now we just got to handle success. And we'll see how we handle it, because right now it's all talk. It's good talk, stuff I want to hear. But let's see if we could do this again. Sirianni, since we're on the topic of respect and repeating and success, Brandon Graham was at Fanatics. One of the videos I forgot to talk about. And he spoke about like how Sirianni handled everything and he earned a lot of respect. But let me play this clip.
They were talking about, do the Eagles need to make a change? What was it like during those times to not only deal with the expectations within the locker room, but outside the locker room, that noise as well?
Well, I mean, if you want to have a good team, it's how you respond. And I think it started from the top. I mean, hearing Nick, just staying consistent with his message, not getting too high or too low during them low times, and just saying, hey, y'all, we're going to weather the storm. I'm here until they let me go. Let's keep working. And I feel like everybody just kept believing in the dream. We just kept chipping. That bye week, after that bye week, though, I don't know, something just clicked where it was just like we needed that break, and then we just went on our run. And I mean, man, I just think it was the consistency of Nick first, and then being able to still have our meetings ran a certain way, and Coach Vic holding us accountable, and everybody just paying attention to the details that we kind of let slip in early on in the season. But I think it was more of just his leadership, and then it just trickled down, that trickle effect, because nobody didn't believe that we didn't have a good team. We just felt like we don't let them little things beat us. We're going to be all right. So I think that's really what we was focused on. Nick,
I love it. I think it's dope. It's dope, man, that Sirianni getting the respect that he deserves in this league. I know I'll be seeing a lot of these top 10 head coaches. Andy Reid is always one. Sirianni is either at the bottom 10, top 5. They just got Sirianni everywhere. I just don't think he get the proper respect because people look at him as a head coach that doesn't do much. He's more of a, get the guys hyped up type coach. But is John Harbaugh or Jim Harbaugh, do they call plays? It's not a lot of these coaches that really call plays. The coach of Detroit don't really call plays, but I always see Dan Campbell somewhere in the top 5, so I don't get it. It's a lot of Nick Sirianni hate. I just think they just don't like him personally. That's what I think it is with Sirianni, because he's brash. When he win, he go crazy. He's like a typical Eagles fan. But when he lose, he down. But I guess they just don't like his personality. So when they do these rankings, they try to do these nat things. But at the end of the day, you can't take away his ring. Can't take away his multi-year extension. He's getting paid. He's winning. And keep doing those things. I don't care where they rank you. But you got guys like BG saying like, yo, he held things together. He was the glue. Stuff we really don't see. So shout out to Brandon Graham for revealing that. It just shed more light on Sirianni. I remember us laughing at him in the past, like, oh, this is a flower. Just got to water it, let it grow. And we here. The flower grew. It grew. You won the Super Bowl champs. So let's see if we can create more flowers, per se. All right, so let's get into the last topic. The linebacker unit. PFF put out an article who has the top 10 or top linebacker units in the NFL. They went 1 through 32 with each team, and the Eagles were one. They feel like Zach Bond, what he did last year was phenomenal. Even with Nakobe Dean, I think he was ranked outside of the top 10. He was like number 11 on the PFF chart, and they feel like a guy like Trotter Jr. would benefit playing beside Zach Bond, because we know what's going on with Nakobe Dean, and they are really hyped. The Eagles got Jahad Campbell. I seen a video of like PFF breaking down Jahad Campbell game. Actually, let me play the clip.
Linebacker in this draft went 31st overall, the only one to go in the first round. Fun with Jahad Campbell, here's a stat. Last year, Jahad Campbell played on the edge 14% of the time. Last year, Zach Bond with the Eagles played out on the edge 13% of the time. And you're talking about what Campbell's going to have to do. This is just going to be straight up, we're just getting behind everybody. It's just a mosh pit in here, okay? He's going to have to stack and shed. Brock Bowers, here's why you keep playing. You can see, gets the right arm kind of extended there on Bowers. He's winning this battle in towards the football. Now he's got his eyes on the ball. This is not good for Georgia, okay? But we're so close to the goal line that the back could still make a good thing happen. But he's going to spin off it and still get in this crease where he could roll into the end zone to score. But because Campbell is here to support, because he beats this block lined up on the edge against the tight end, you have the versatility, and he's actually the last one who once again stops this back about an inch short of the goal line.
You see, like, they like Jahad Campbell. They like that pickup. So they looking at it coming into the season. The Eagles still overall have a strong linebacker room. Now, me personally, I have questions. The only reason why is because we know Nakobe Dean is not going to be ready till like October, November-ish. Trotter Jr., is he ready for that big role? I don't know. Jahad Campbell, there are question marks. Will he be ready? Can he play at a high level coming in August? I would say this. Same thing happened with Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean came in. You would think he'd never miss training camp. So Cooper DeJean was great. I got high hopes for Jahad Campbell in this linebacker room, but it's just a bunch of unknown. Even with Zach Bond a little bit. Can he do it again? That's my only question with Zach Bond. Can he do this again? Can he stay in that top 5? It's like if he fall from 1 to 3, it's like, okay, it is what it is, but he's still in that top tier ranking, you know. So the linebacker room, to me personally, got some questions there, but the way the world see it, or PFF and the NFL world, they're like, yo, Eagles linebacker core is pretty good. We just came a long way from last year. They had a individual, like they was ranking, you know, like Patrick Queen and all those guys, and they ranked 32 linebackers, and not one Eagle linebacker was on there going into 2024 season. This is when we had Devin White, then Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean, and they're like, nah, that linebacker room is going to suck. And now going into this year, 2025-2026 season, we have the best linebacker room. So I mean, you at the bottom, all you can do is go up, right? But that's all I got for you guys today. Hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel about the news? The linebacker core, Sirianni, Nolan Smith. But this is Eagle Al, man. I'm out.